Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about David Zaslav. This entire HBO Max Discovery Plus like merger type thing. Why Batgirl got canceled? Why does Snyderverse probably will never happen again? Probably. And like what to expect and like why so much stuff is getting canceled, why people are getting fired and all this like 10-year plan crap. So, first, let me just say that I still blame Ezra Miller. There's more people and other stuff to blame, but I also blame him. So like when it comes to Ezra Miller, like here's the thing, right? DC is in just a bizarre state. It's like in a mess. It's not like Marvel. It doesn't. It did not have a like focus plan. It did not have that Kevin Feige type person. You know what I'm saying? They had it with Zack Snyder, but people wasn't feeling like, his dark and grittiness and stuff, like Batman going around killing his villains, Superman not saving folks, Wonder Woman just like, always like it's like there's a photo in Zack Snyder's office of Wonder Woman holding a severed head, a decapitated head. Like people just wasn't feeling that. And so Warner Brothers tried to go in a different route, and they tried to do it like in a sneaky kind of way, and everything that screwed Snack Zyder over and everything. And so basically, they was doing a soft reboot this entire time with Warner Brothers. Aquaman and Wonder Woman and Shazam all had like more brightly colored stuff. They were starting to go that more brightly colored route. They just like with the Marvel stuff. And so with the soft reboot, you have to really listen to Aquaman and Wonder Woman. In the Aquaman solo movie, the first one, something doesn't sound right when it comes to that of his origin from what we know from the two different like Justice League movies and stuff. Something's not adding up. It got tweaked, like his origin got tweaked. The same thing with Wonder Woman when she said, because in Batman v Superman, she disappeared for so many years, but then we see, no, wait, she was active in the 80s and stuff. See, her origin got tweaked a little bit and stuff. They've been softly rebooting stuff and everything. And so the whole Flash Ezra Miller thing, that was supposed to do like a flashpoint. It was supposed to restart everything and everything. And start this whole new universe where certain, like several different DC properties just merged together like the new 52. That's where Michael Keaton and stuff comes in, and the Batgirl movie, and the whole J.K. Simmons, Commissioner Gordon stuff. This was supposed to jumpstart like a new thing, and they were gonna go that route. But because Ezra Miller is being Ezra Miller, things got like twisted and turned around. This is why Ben Affleck came back for Aquaman 2. Michael Keaton was supposed to come in at the end of the movie for like a cameo and stuff like that. Because the Flash movie has not come out, they had to redo that because people would have got confused. Batgirl is not coming out because it kept getting pushed over and over and over because Ezra Miller just being an idiot. And I'm gonna get to Ezra Miller in a second because David, man, he's playing with fire, man. Like this is your dude. This is like this is your savior and everything because it's supposed to be a good movie. But basically, I still would have thought, even though whether you love it or not, the DCEU, they were still going forward in their old vision and everything. And the Flashpoint movie was supposed to kick that off and everything with this new universe. And supposedly test scores are good for like the Flash, and they were gonna go ahead with it despite what all Ezra Miller has been doing. And if that would have came out first, then boom, Batgirl would have came out, and people would have had their feelings for whatever reason, and it still would have got shown. Now this actress got screwed because of Ezra Miller. And so you know how I feel about that. Like, I'm not happy. I ain't happy at all. Um this news makes me want flip a freaking table. And I'm not kidding. Like, I just want to pick a table up and just flip it and everything. Because the bottom line is, Mufasa did not die for this. He did not die for this crap, man. And it's getting dicey. It's gonna get dicey what's gonna go on with HBO Max and Discovery and some DC movies and stuff. Now, the big meeting happened on Thursday and everything. David Zaslav pretty much set everything in stone and said what he's gonna do. He wants to be the man, and he wants to be that Kevin Feige type man. He has a 10-year plan for what DC is gonna be about. My suggestion with that, for now, do not think long term, because he hasn't even put anything out yet. Think about now this year, and then if it's a success, then do your 10-year plan, man. Because even Marvel didn't have a 10-year plan at first. I've said this before in millions of videos. The Hulk was supposed to be the uber Marvel character. They thought the Hulk movie was gonna perpetuate them into like this huge franchise and stuff. That is why the Hulk was supposed to be the villain in the Avengers movie, and that's why Tony Stark showed up in the end credits of the Hulk movie. It was supposed to, like, jumpstart this whole thing with him, like, going out of control and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what the deleted scenes for the Avengers was about. It was supposed to go a completely different route. However, they realized something. People said, screw the Hulk, we love Iron Man, Tony Stark, and Robbie Downey Jr. So then they had to shift their focus and everything. Plus, they don't have the full rights from Universal and stuff. They shifted focus to Tony Stark, Iron Man, and he is now the granddaddy of the MCU and everything. And then they worked their 10-year plan around that, and now they're keeping on going. And so that's what David wants to do and everything. Now, when it comes to David, here's the thing. If he can make this work, all power to him, because everybody has been saying DC needs to get their act together. They're a mess. We have 3 Batmen. One's about to say bye-bye to everybody. We have 3 Jokers. One said goodbye to everybody. We have now 2 Harley Quinns and everything. Yes, Lady Gaga is going to be in Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker 2, and it's going to be a musical for some bizarre reason. I have no idea why. And so basically, it's almost like DC does not want a win. They don't. They just want to keep losing to Marvel and stuff. And so they're just going in whatever direction they want to, which is no direction. I say go the Elseworld route. Just keep push. That's what they're going to do. Then just keep doing it until they find one people like and stick with that. And so when it comes to David, I read the stuff that supposedly he said in that call. I have heard audio, because there's a clip of it on YouTube of the call he had and talking about certain things. Now, when it comes to David Zaslav type dude, he's been canceling a lot of stuff. He sounds like a nitpicker. Is basically what he wants, and that's it. Which is pretty biased, you gotta say. Now, I've been trying to figure out what kind of dude this dude is. And you know what? Is he telling the truth or is he not? It's just like what they taught me in the Justice League Unlimited series finale. When Superman and them asked, if Darkseid and Lex Luthor, are they dead? What happened to them? And Jon Stewart says, believe half of what you hear and the rest what you see. I don't fully believe this man. This man sounds like a politician. I don't trust politicians and stuff. I trust some to a certain degree, but not fully. Because what a politician would do, they're going to tell you what you want to hear. So you vote for them and you bleed your heart for them. And then they're going to do whatever they want to do behind the scenes. Every politician in every party is like that. That's why I can't stand them. And business people are like that too. It's all about that money. And this man wants money. Why? Because he had to take on Warner Brothers debt. And they're about 3 billion with the B in debt. And so there's a bunch of conflicting stories. There's reason as to why that girl got canceled. One reason is because they said David saw the movie, did not like it, and wanted to scrap it. He felt it just wasn't good enough to go to theaters, and it's too expensive to go on HBO Max, and they wouldn't get no money off it. There's another reason. Some people said they did see the movie and they said it was pretty good. It was like average and everything. And he doesn't want average, supposedly. He wants big blockbuster movies like the Avengers and stuff. Basically, what he wants is world-ending stuff, explosions, and CGI goopity-goop portal type stuff. You know, the stuff people have been complaining about for the longest time. People are tired of exaggerated third plot like CGI goopity goop and stuff. Some people want a more smaller contained story, which is what a lot of Batman stuff is. He does not want that. Now, there are other reports going around that some people are saying the movie just wasn't all that great, and that's why it can't come out theatrically. They put out stinkers before, so they don't act like they haven't. But it's his idea, his plan. He wants money. Now, there are other things saying he's writing this off as a tax credit type thing. And that's basically what it's going to do. He's going to write this movie off as a failure. See, here's the thing. The movie supposedly is average. Like I said before, it's not blockbuster material to be out theatrically, and they're afraid they're going to lose money and not regain their money back. They are not going to put it on streaming because it costs way too much money to make, and they will not make their money back. Because when you put it on streaming, it's who's ever signed up for it. You ain't making no additional money. So he's going to write it as a loss, a failure, so he can recoup that money back in taxes and stuff. That's the same thing that happened with Scoob, that little Christmas Halloween-y type special type thing. I've never seen the first Scoob. I heard it did not do great, but the second one was supposed to be a whole lot better and stuff. And that movie is almost done and completed as well. And he's gonna write that off as a failure to get some money back and stuff. And so basically, and this is the crazy part with the whole Ezra Miller thing. Supposedly, he has seen Aquaman 2. He loves it. He has seen The Flash. He loves it. He has seen either Shazam or Black Adam. I can't remember which one it is, and he loves it. But here's the thing. He says he loves it, but it's not great. And he said it could be better. Now, so this is basically his biased opinion. It's basically what he likes, and that's it. And see, here's the thing. He's taking this as like a movie reviewer or a YouTube critique person. But here's the thing. He's not that. He's a billionaire and everything, a businessman. And so what he likes, other people might not like. Or what he does not like, other people might love. You know what I'm saying? Because there are people who like Batman v Superman. There are people who like the first Daredevil movie. There are people who like the Fantastic Four movies. There are people who like the Jurassic Park sequels. So you just never know. And it's gonna make his money back one way or another if it's in theaters and stuff. And so I think it's a punk move for him to make, you know, based on what he thinks he likes. He said it has to be part of his brand. Now that is confusing people. They don't know what he means. So he's being very vague in a lot of stuff. The moment he said Batgirl is not part of his brand and what he wants to show. So some people are saying, well, maybe it has to do with her race. Maybe it has to do with her gender. So some people are playing like the race card, the gender card, and the trolls are coming out talking about, haha, he doesn't want woke Batgirl. I'll get into that a little bit later. Let me get back to this Ezra Miller thing and the whole Snyder thing. He's keeping those movies. He's keeping Aquaman 2, but he said the ending made no sense. That's why he reshot it with Ben Affleck. As for Ezra Miller's The Flash, he said, just like the test screen said, it's a great movie. He's going to keep it, which means he's willing to piss off people and make people assume he's racist or misogynist because of the whole Leslie Grace like Batgirl thing, but he's willing to keep Ezra Miller and all those allegations and everything. The allegations of like taking young underage people, flying them over the country, waving guns in people's faces, smoking weed around people, brainwashing people, keeping young kids on like his property with like drugs, and one of the kids put like a bullet in their mouth and everything, and the cops have seen the footage of like they went in the house, they seen the drugs, they seen the guns lying there around everywhere. Nobody can find Ezra Miller. He's willing to keep that lunatic and everything because Ezra's movie is gonna make him money. It's the type of blockbuster movie he wants and everything. And I think that's like another risky move and a punk move because people are gonna look up to Ezra Miller because of this role. Like, well, do you really want your kids to look at Ezra Miller as a role model all because he is the Flash? That is messed up. Ezra Miller is cuckoo for Cuckoo Puffs, and he has helped mess this entire thing up. But now here comes the Snyder stuff. David said, and I heard the audio too, it's on YouTube, find it, look for it. He said that he has already hit the reset button on DC movies. And hitting that reset, he is not going backwards, which means the Snyderverse is pretty much officially dead. The only way I can see that coming back if he wants to make money off it on his new streaming app, the same way HBO Max used all the Snyder fans to subscribe to HBO Max. Because remember, it used to be $15 when it first came out, and people got it. I didn't get it. I waited till it went down to like 11, but people got it. And they watched the Snyder movie, the Snyder Cut, and that's it. Warner Brothers has said they're done with this. They're not going back. Somebody wanted to use clips from the Snyder Cut, and they literally told that person the only official Justice League movie is the one Joss Whedon made. So they are done with the Snyderverse and everything. People can hashtag restore the Snyderverse all they want. David has said, and Warner Brothers has said, he has basically gave y'all the middle finger and everything and said, look, that's it. That's done. Move on and everything. And so the only way, like I said, I can see the Snyderverse coming back is like with this new streaming app that they're making. They want them some subscribers because they're going to need some because it's going to be an expensive streaming site. That's the part I'm going to get into next and everything. That's the only way I can see this happening. But is he willing to spend millions of dollars to bring all these people back? Probably not. Ben, he was supposed to have his own Batman movie. He clashed with Warner Brothers. He said adios and everything. He only comes back to do favors. I doubt he's going to come back for a full-length movie. Henry Cavill, or however you say his last name, he didn't want to do a cameo. So he thought he was too good for that, and they said, poof, be gone, and he went poof, be gone to Netflix, and then he tried to come back, and they still said, poof, be gone and everything. But they used his fans thinking he was going to be at Comic-Con, and he wasn't, and everything. See, right now, the only big things that are officially coming out is Shazam 2 and Black Adam, which means a lot of stuff rides on that. If it does well, maybe the Snyderverse will stay. Who knows? Or maybe they'll keep bringing them back for every now and then. But as of right now, that is completely done. They might bring the actors back, but if they bring the actors back, it's going to be a completely different universe and everything. And the question is, can The Rock pull it off? With Super Pets, he was not able to pull it off. They bled money with Super Pets. They were not able to get that back. And now The Rock has to prove, yo, man, can I do it with the live version of Black Adam? Well, The Rock is not the greatest actor in the world and everything, you know? And this movie lands on his shoulders and it has to be carried on his shoulders and stuff. You know, I mean, here's my thing with The Rock. He's not the world's greatest actor. He tries, but this is something missing. This is something missing. The only time I ever gave him credit was in two movies. Fast and Furious 6. He actually did a pretty good acting job in that. But come Fast and Furious 8, he just acted like The Rock. He didn't even try to act like a completely different person. He didn't try to act like Hobbs. He acted like The Rock. And in his own Hobbs movie, he just acted like The Rock. Now, the only other time I ever give him credit was probably like the second real movie, or the first real movie I ever saw him in. The first time it was just like a cameo. That was that Reno 911 in Miami. But Be Cool he was in. He played a man who was gay. And his acting sucked in that movie. But I could not tell it was him. He was willing to go that extra route to look completely different. He wore plaid. He wore tight clothes, tight pants. Looked kind of 70s a little bit. He had a tiny afro and he had a beard. And he talked different. His acting sucked in that movie, but his appearance made him believe he was a different person, and I liked that and everything. He has not done that since. In every other movie, he just looks like himself. He's playing Black Adam, and he doesn't have pointy ears or the hair because he just wants to be The Rock, because he knows that's what's going to make him successful and everything. Now on to this new streaming site. It's going to get dicey. It's gonna get pricey. People gonna lose their jobs, and shows gonna get canceled. Now when it comes to him, see, okay, back to this whole race card. A lot of people are assuming he is racist because he canceled Batgirl with a Dominican actress. She's half black, half Hispanic. Other people are accusing him of racism because of a lot of the CW shows that are diverse that got canceled. But see, here's the thing. I do not know exactly what kind of man this is. It's hard to find info on this man when you Google it and everything. The only thing I could find when it comes to race is he actually stood up for George Floyd and everything. He thought what happened to him was terrible. So it's kind of like, is he telling the truth? Because some people will hop on that bandwagon, pretend like they're all for Black Lives Matter, like Leah Michelle and Candace Michelle. That's funny. Both of their names Michelle. And they look similar, but they're really not and everything. They have done stuff and said things to the black community that says otherwise. So I don't know if he's for it or not. I don't know if he's down with the brown. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, when it comes to other diverse shows, this whole WB bought out merger thing is just bizarre and weird because it's supposed to be a conservative group that is supposed to buy out in conjunction with this whole merger thing, the CW, and they're very conservative, which means this is probably why a lot of their more diverse shows with a diverse like racial cast and LGBT stuff and more women stuff. That's probably why it got canceled and why so many more of their white-led shows are still going on right now and stuff and about to be greenlit. So that's really up in the air. Now, as for Discovery, and I looked on their platform and see what they have. It's mostly just reality TV shows. A lot of like white reality TV shows. There is one that's kind of like with this drag queen, I think. So, but that's the only one I could find. So maybe they're just trying to pander to a certain group. Maybe they actually like it. Like, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But there are some things right now already getting taken off the HBO platform. Little Ellen, that got taken off. A cartoon series. A lot of the animation stuff is supposed to get pulled too, because they're not really necessarily going in that certain route, but they are going the animation route just for like Looney Tunes and some DC properties and stuff. Now, As for the streaming site itself, some people are gonna lose their jobs, like I said. I'm actually get back to the race thing. So I don't know if like this is like a race type thing, because he's a man of color himself. He's Jewish and everything, but a lot of Jewish people go for white. So who really knows? I think just because a show gets canceled, because a lot of shows of people of color got canceled, but you gotta remember it was the studio that like race spent those characters or added those characters and stuff. But it is kind of bizarre that a lot of stuff that's getting pulled is stuff of people of color and LGBT. Because from what James Gunn said, Peacemaker's fine. Like he said, that's not getting affected, and he confirmed that online. So unless James Gunn is lying and stuff, then we have to take James' word for it, And so it's kind of interesting that that's staying, and some other stuff and stuff. And so like when it comes to their new streaming app, they're getting rid of the HBO Max. They're getting rid of Discovery Plus. It's gonna be called something different. I don't know what yet. Some shows are gonna come over and some shows aren't. This is with the every merger. This is what happened with the CW. It used to be UPN and the WB. They took in more WB shows and a few of the UPN ones. Once the UPN ones got canceled, it just felt like another WB station and stuff. And so like I'm not really a fan of HBO Max, to tell you the truth. Like a lot of their shows are okay and all right, but there's something in there that kind of like bugs me with a lot of their shows. So I could really don't really care, but I know there's some things in there I do want to watch, and there's some things that are starting to get better that I didn't like before, so I don't really want to see those get canceled. Now he has grouped these two shows in two different sexes. If you look on the chart, he feels like more men watch stuff on HBO Max and more women watch stuff on Discovery Plus with the reality shows and stuff like that. I'm just kind of like, that's kind of biased, but he's looking at this in a very biased kind of way. And because there are women shows on there. There's Pretty Little Liars Original Sins. There's the new Gossip Girl. There's that new Sex in the City show. There are girly stuff on there on HBO Max and stuff. So I don't really know where he's coming from with this and stuff. And so he's gonna merge them, right? It's gonna be 3 different prices. One's gonna be a very expensive one with no ads. Because the thing is, you're getting a lot of content from both streaming apps. So you're gonna have to pay that high fee. Now the second one's gonna be a cheaper fee, but with ads in there. I don't mind doing that. I don't care about ads. Like I got Hulu, I got ads. I have YouTube, I have ads. I don't care. Or then there's gonna be a free route. Similar to Roku channel and similar to that of Peacock. Now with Roku, what they like to do is that all this stuff is free, but if you have to get something from another app, you have to pay for that. Now with Peacock, I have it, but I've never actually watched anything on there. I still haven't watched the new Fresh Prince yet. I've been too busy with stuff. And so with that, I have noticed there are a lot of older shows that are free. Their newer stuff, however, it seems like you have to pay and everything. So it's probably going to be something like that. And, that's kind of going to bug people because who really going to want to watch older stuff? You're going to want to watch that new stuff, especially movies, which you're going to have to pay for. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to all these movies and stuff going on these streaming sites and everything, because that's what kind of screwed that one dude up on HBO Max. Every time something Warner Brothers came out on the same day in theaters, it came out on HBO Max. That was just stupid. Why not just stay home and watch it for free? You're already paying for the streaming app. What they should do is something Disney did a long time ago. Charge people. Charge a fee for the movie. You'll get your money back then. You know what I'm saying? And so that would have been like the easier way, to go and everything. So when it comes to him, his one plan on his app, because see, Here's the thing about DC. They don't have their own studio. They just put like their comic book stuff on like Warner Brothers and stuff. So he's gonna do that Disney thing with, I guess, and no telling how their show is gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So only time will tell and everything, because a lot of these DC shows, they're just not that great, you know what I'm saying, right now. So who knows what their studio is gonna do. Now, I've said this before when it comes to the whole Batgirl situation. I don't know what they're going to do with the Supergirl movie. I don't know what they're going to do with the Blue Beetle movie. Because if those movies are not blockbuster hits, he's going to pull them. That's the thing. And stuff. See, I've said this before. There was an article not a year ago, but a couple of months ago. Warner Brothers and DC wanted to go the more diverse route, quicker than that of Marvel. That's why they brought in Supergirl and Batgirl to take the places of Batman and Superman, because Ben Affleck said, I'm out, and Henry Cavill said he's out. So they're like, all right, fine, we'll just bring in the females, and then we'll have an all-female trinity. A lot of fans don't want that, even fans that are supportive of those characters, because it's kind of like, how can you not have Batman, how can you not have Superman? That's just weird, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and so a lot of people just was not feeling that. We like those characters, but it's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. But those are the focuses he's going. Now, I read a couple months ago, somebody, they didn't say who, was coming in, and they said they want to get things back on the guide route and everything. They wanted to make it very heavy Superman, Batman focus and everything. And so I knew at some point in time, those, not necessarily going to get canceled, but going to get like pushed aside and be side characters and stuff. Because whoever that person was coming in clearly said they wanted Batman, Superman to be the focus. And now we know who that man is, David, and everything. And so this is another reason why Batgirl got shelved and everything. He's willing to take that loss, the please, I guess, the male toxic crowd and everything, you know, the ones who were screaming awoke and everything when they heard about the whole Batgirl, Supergirl thing and stuff. So he's willing to make those people happy because he's feel those people are going to bring in more money and stuff. Only time will tell if this is going to pay off and everything. And so question is, who's going to play these characters? I really don't know. Since Flashpoint movie is happening, I guess Michael Keaton is going to be that Batman and everything. But he's so old. I love the dude and everything. He's my favorite Batman. And of course he'll have his stunt double do like the action stuff. But it's just weird seeing an old Batman, you know? And the rest of the Bat family, it probably ain't even going to be there and stuff. So no telling what's going to happen with that. And so, like, they keep saying they're going to push diversity, and they keep saying Leslie was a good actress and they're going to bring her back. I don't fully 100% believe that. And it's kind of like, you know, she's going to be brought back for another movie, but they didn't say what movie. So it might not even be a DC movie, and she might not be Batgirl. Now, we will know if race played a card if they recast Batgirl as a white girl and everything. Then we're going to know exactly what's up then. But for right now, let's not go that race route until we get more info and stuff. And so, like, man, I just don't even know, man. It's like, it's insane. Like, the man needs to take his time and everything. Because from what I heard, he's not even a comic book fan and stuff. You know, because he owns, like, you know, because he was like an NBC dude many years ago. And now he did the whole Discovery thing. And Discovery is a bunch of, like, cooking shows and reality shows and stuff. And they've already said on HBO Max, they aren't really for this whole scripted thing, but unscripted shows, which means they want more reality shows and stuff. Selena Gomez Bacon show already got renewed on HBO Max. That's a sign right there, you know. He's willing to go that cheap route. And also with his 10-year plan, he said no matter how long it takes, he's going to make sure he ain't putting the movie out until everything's right. That's like the acting, the script, the CGI, and that's how it should be, you know what I'm saying? Instead of putting out something that's half-baked. But sometimes some people are willing to give a half-baked CGI like a pass and everything. And once again, the man is looking for perfection. Nothing is ever gonna be perfect. Not even some of the greatest movies out there are perfect. And it's all what he wants. See, that's the thing. It's that biased nature. If it's not up to snuff to his recommendations, he ain't gonna put it out, and that's gonna push back stuff even more. Because right now, Aquaman got pushed back, and so did the Flash again, because it's not perfect in his eyes, and he had to bring Ben Affleck back to clear up that confusion. And as for the Flash, nobody knows where Ezra is. So if the Flash is getting pushed back, if they're doing reshoots on that, is Ezra even there doing reshoots? And if so, why haven't the police talked to Ezra yet? You know? And not only that, but are they gonna replace Ezra at some point? Because they need to replace Ezra. They really, really do. And how can you go forward with this Flash movie, but you want to can Batgirl? People want to see that movie. Little kids want to see that Scooby-Doo movie. You know, and it's just like, and it's weird because a lot of those movies, so this is another thing with the whole race thing. A lot of movies, he's pulled about 6 or 10 movies on HBO Max already. A lot of those are diverse movies. Some didn't do well, but other ones did extremely well. So if they did extremely well, why in the world did he pull them? See, he's not fully telling the truth. And some people have said they saw Batgirl and they said it was pretty good and everything. So if it was pretty good, why in the world did he pull it and everything? And I just don't know. Like, not everything gonna be a huge big blockbuster CGI like movie. A lot of the Batman movies aren't. That's the thing. Batman is a grounded person in the reality of his city. He only goes big and bold when he's with like the Justice League and stuff. So I just like, it's just insane. I mean, are they trying to say like what? David Ayer's Suicide Squad was like the best thing ever? Was Batman v Superman great? No. So, you know, I don't understand this man. And so maybe he's gonna succeed. Maybe he's gonna make things better. Maybe he's gonna get things on track. But he needs to stop thinking long term and think short term. Because he hasn't even really done nothing yet but cancel a bunch of stuff. It's kind of like studio interference. You know what I'm saying? Like a director wants to do their own thing and the studio comes in with that red marker and they just start scratching stuff out. That's what he's doing right now. And he's playing with fire, man. Because seriously, you know, DC fans, they ain't going to be happy. They're going to voice their opinions online about what sucks and what don't. You know what I'm saying? And he needs to make sure what he's doing is going to succeed in everything. I just don't know what to say about this man because it's hard to figure him out because, like, okay, supposedly he has social media. Like, I went to his Instagram page. It's private and everything. You don't know what kind of man he is. And I know that he has a daughter who's the producer of CNN, and she's there to talk about politics and stuff, right? She is very, like, she doesn't pick a side. That's the great thing about her. She doesn't pick a side. She reports everything on both sides. If a Republican is doing something, she reports it. If a Democrat's doing something, she reports it. And she never gives her opinion. So I'm trying to keep like a positive view of him, you know what I'm saying? But then there's some things online that make him like a bad person, like I was on Twitter. There's a woman who says she used to work for him and it was a nightmare. And she went tread after tread after tread listing why this man sucks and everything. And he is a pretty ruthless man because he's slashing and gashing like, you know, projects left and right that are practically done. And so many people in Hollywood have literally said this is unprecedented. And you want to know something? Who's going to work for him if something's not up to his standards? You know, he's like Chef Gordon Ramsay. So it's kind of like, okay, so you're expecting celebrities, writers, directors, and other studios to help fund stuff and help be on your projects. But if you don't like it, you're just gonna cancel it without it being shown. And that's the thing people have to remember. He will do this. He has now done it just now. Who's gonna want to work for him? That's the thing. Who? Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.